were ousted from the city's parliament. That prompted the entire opposition to resign in protest. Here's China correspondent Bill Birtles.
Death by 1,000 cuts. Hong Kong's local parliament now has no opposition.
Together we stand!
The sudden disqualification of 4 pro-democracy members triggering a mass resignation by 15 others.
Today is the end of the one country, two system.
The chief executive will dominate, another member posted. Hong Kong will formally enter a dictatorship equivalent to the mainland. Hong Kong's Legislative Council has always been rigged to favour pro-Beijing candidates, with half of the seats reserved for business and industry groups. But the opposition has still made its voice heard, critiquing and occasionally stalling legislation from the Beijing-backed government. The 4 at the centre of this latest move had already been banned from running at next year's elections. But that wasn't enough. Beijing suddenly changed the rules so it could immediately oust any member not sufficiently loyal to China.
It is part of an overall attrition tactic to try to erode Hong Kong people's determination to fight for democracy.
I wouldn't say that for members remaining in the Legislative Council, we will have a rubber stamp Legislative Council.
Those assurances aren't washing overseas. Australia's Foreign Minister says disqualifying parliamentarians seriously undermines Hong Kong's democratic processes.
The qualification issue is purely China's internal affair. Other countries have no right to make irresponsible remarks or interfere in it.
More diplomatic friction ahead. Bill Birtles, ABC News.
Donald Trump is ramping up efforts to flip the presidential election result. His campaign has filed a federal lawsuit in the state of Michigan, and he's made headway in Georgia, where a recount has been ordered. North America correspondent Catherine Diss reports from Washington.
In Donald Trump's first public appearance since his opponent claimed victory in the presidential election, the weather gods were not on his side. Without an umbrella, the Commander-in-Chief paid his respects to America's war dead. He and his Vice President were unmasked, defying an order by Arlington National Cemetery. At the same time, in Pennsylvania, a competing image from the man who took the presidency off him in the state which decided the election. A masked Joe Biden laid a wreath with his wife Jill.
Does anybody understand what veterans go through? It's this family.
But across America, discontent over the result continues. The Trump campaign has filed a federal lawsuit in the state of Michigan, citing witness accounts of unlawful vote counting. Joe Biden's current lead in the state is 10 times the president's winning lead in 2016, while in Georgia, where Donald Trump trails by 14,000 votes, there will be a manual recount of the 5 million ballots cast.
Interest in our election obviously goes far beyond Georgia's borders. The final tally in Georgia at this point has huge implications for the entire country.
Control of the Senate hinges on 2 upcoming races in the state. Trump loyalist and Florida Senator Marco Rubio spent the day drumming up support.
And we don't want to win one of them, we want to win both of them. We need to win both of them.
As America readies for another hotly contested showdown, it isn't winning the war on coronavirus. Daily cases and hospital admissions continue to break records.
Our worst nightmare right now for any one of us physicians or healthcare workers is having to choose between a patient in a car accident and a patient with COVID.
Texas has become the first state to pass 1 million cases. El Paso, the epicenter, now bussing in refrigerated trucks to store the bodies of victims. A grim reality only set to worsen as the nation barrels towards winter. Catherine Diss, ABC News, Washington.
The United Kingdom has now recorded 50,000 coronavirus deaths.